The moonlight sliced through the resort's palm trees, carving shadows across our balcony. When I saw her slip out the door, my wife Elise, in a silk shawl that shimmered like a secret, moved with a purpose I didn't recognize. My heart lurched, a jolt of instinct, not reason, as I watched her vanish into the humid night. We'd come to this Caribbean haven to mend something unspoken, to stitch up the fraying edges of 13 years. Yet there she was, sneaking away while I lay in bed, pretending to sleep. I waited, breath shallow, counting the seconds until her footsteps faded down the stone path. The room smelled of her jasmine perfume, a scent that used to mean home, but now felt like a stranger's mark. Why would she leave at 2 a.m.? A midnight swim? A call she couldn't take in front of me? My mind spun excuses, each one flimsier than the last. I pulled on a shirt, slipped into sandals, and followed her, the warm night air clinging to my skin like guilt. The resort sprawled before me, a maze of glowing lanterns and whispering waves. Elise's shawl flickered ahead, a pale ghost weaving through the gardens. I kept my distance, heart pounding like a drum in my chest, each beat screaming this isn't right. She'd been distant all week, her smiles too quick, her touches too brief. I'd chalked it up to stress, to the weight of our unsaid grievances. But now, as I trailed her past the infinity pool's glassy shimmer, doubt gnawed at my bones. She stopped at the beach bar, closed for the night, its bamboo roof casting jagged shadows. A figure emerged from the dark. A man, tall, broad-shouldered, his face hidden by the brim of a hat. My stomach twisted. Elise didn't flinch as he approached. Instead, she stepped closer, her hand grazing his arm. The intimacy of that touch, a casual, knowing gesture, hit me like a fist. I crouched behind a palm, the rough bark biting my palms, and watched as they spoke in low murmurs, words swallowed by the tide. "You're late," the man said, his voice smooth like polished stone. I strained to hear more, but the ocean's roar drowned them out. Elise laughed, a soft, private sound I hadn't heard in years. My chest burned. That laugh belonged to me, to our late-night talks, to the life we'd built. Who was this man stealing it? I wanted to storm forward, demand answers, but my legs felt rooted, heavy with dread. They moved toward the shore, their silhouettes blending against the silver waves. I followed, sand muffling my steps, my mind racing. Was this why she'd pushed for this trip? Not to fix us, but to meet him? I remembered her insistence on this resort, her sudden interest in late-night walks. Red flags I'd waved away, too in love, or too afraid to see them. Now they flared bright, undeniable. The man stopped, turning to her. Moonlight caught his face, tanned, sharp-jawed, familiar in a way that made my blood run cold. I'd seen him at the bar yesterday, laughing with Elise while I nursed a rum and coke, pretending not to notice how her eyes lingered. Daniel, she'd called him, introducing him as a friend from work. A lie, I realized now, as I watched her lean into him, their foreheads nearly touching. "Elise, we can't keep doing this," Daniel said, his voice low but urgent. "He's not stupid. He'll figure it out." My heart stopped. Me. They were talking about me. I pressed myself against a rock, the cold stone grounding me as the world tilted. Elise's voice came softer, pleading. "I know, but I'm not ready to lose him. Not yet." Not ready to lose me? The words cut deeper than betrayal. They held pity, calculation. I was a thing to be managed, not a husband to be loved. Anger surged, hot and reckless, but beneath it, grief clawed. A raw, aching loss for the woman I thought I knew. They walked on, their voices fading as they reached a secluded cove. I crept closer, hidden by dunes, and saw them sit on a driftwood log. Daniel pulled out a phone, showing her something that made her gasp. I couldn't see the screen, but her face, lit by the glow, crumpled with fear. "You promised you'd delete those," she whispered. "Insurance," he said, smirking. "You want out? Tell him everything. See how he takes it." My mind reeled. Photos? Messages? What had she done that needed hiding? I wanted to believe this was new, a mistake born of weakness, but the ease between them told a different story. This wasn't a fling. This was a history I'd been blind to. I stood, legs trembling, and stepped into the open. "Elise," I said, my voice cracking like dry wood. They froze, heads snapping toward me. Her eyes widened. A mix of guilt and terror. while Daniel's face hardened unapologetic. "Mark," she stammered, standing. "It's not what you think." "Then what is it?" My voice was louder now, raw with pain. "Tell me why you're sneaking out to meet him. Tell me what's on that phone." She opened her mouth, but no words came. Daniel stepped forward, his posture defiant. "This doesn't concern you, man. Walk away. Walk away." I laughed, bitter and broken. "She's my wife." Elise grabbed my arm, her touch desperate. "Mark, please. Let me explain." "Explain what?" I shook her off, my voice rising. "How long? How many lies?" Her silence was answer enough. Tears streaked her face, but they didn't soften me. I turned to Daniel. "Show me the phone." He hesitated, then tossed it to me. I caught it, hands shaking, and opened the gallery. Photos, dozens of them. Elise and Daniel, laughing in hotel rooms, kissing in cars, living a life parallel to ours. Dates stamped months back, years even. My knees buckled. This wasn't a betrayal. It was a second marriage. "Why?" I whispered, looking at her. "Was I not enough?" Her voice broke. "You were everything. But I got lost." He made me feel seen when I felt invisible. Invisible. The word stung. I'd spent years trying to be her anchor, her home. "You could have talked to me." "I tried," she said, voice small. "But you were always so perfect. I didn't want to ruin that." Daniel snorted, breaking the moment. "This is pointless." She made her choice. I lunged at him, rage overtaking reason, but Elise stepped between us. "Stop. Mark, I'm sorry. I'll end it. I swear." I stared at her, the woman I'd loved since college, now a stranger wearing her face. The phone in my hand felt like a grenade. I could expose her, destroy her career, her life. But as I looked into her pleading eyes, I saw the truth. She wasn't mine anymore. Maybe she never was. I dropped the phone into the sand and walked away, the waves swallowing her sobs. The resort's lights blurred as I stumbled back to our room, packed my bag, and left a note. I deserve better. By dawn, I was on a plane, the ocean shrinking below me, carrying away the life I thought I'd had. But in my chest, a new resolve burned. I'd rebuild, without her shadow.